Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Miss Fierce from the Fierce Trade House. And really, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, this is my weekly analysis. And first of all, if this is your first time on my channel, please like, subscribe, share, comment, anything. But thank you once again for tuning in. Now, what we usually do here is look at, where the market would be going in the coming week. I'm very excited because it's a brand new week, and I usually say at the beginning of the week is really a nice time to start, laying your positions in the market, and that's why I do this weekly analysis. So right now, I just want to also look at the 15 minutes, and we can see on the 15 minutes, basically NAS and possibly generally the indices US 30, SP 500 or US 500. We can see from the 15th, I think this was on Wednesday, NAS has been very bullish, or the indices were pretty much bullish. We opened on a bearish note on Monday, Sunday night open from the market open, and then we started climbing up. And especially on Friday, I'm sure, this may have taken some traders by surprise because it really just closed, just rallied, broke out, took out this very significant level of structure here. Okay, and then just continued to push up, took out this high of March, the beginning of the month. So it technically took out the March high. Okay, so that's how bullish this market was last week. Now, if I look at the weekly time frame, just so that I can just also, we can see that it was targeting some imbalances around the 14,430.8 level, which is exactly, there's an order block there. And if you just dial it down onto different time frames, you'll see that there are probably a lot of imbalances there that had been left after this drop down. And so this move technically may not necessarily have been a surprise if you look at it in hindsight. I didn't expect it to go that high. I'll be honest. If I tell you for sure, I only anticipated NAS to get to, especially after this move up, I thought that maybe we would taper out around this zone here where we started to consolidate, about the 14,300 level. But we then broke that as well. I wasn't in the market on Friday anyway, but this move, I just literally observed the market on Friday. I was like, I'm not going to trade. I just want to see what this thing is going to do. Anywho, so what we are seeing is, we are possibly, we could still be pushing up. I anticipate you could begin consolidating, but the weekly time frame, what I'm thinking is also this move has cleared out imbalances, and we may just continue on our way down. So I'm still still bearish, unless something happens on market open. So let me look at the daily. Okay, so the daily actually has broken out, taken out it's looking more clear that we've actually taken out the March high. And yes, looking relatively bullish. Let me see. We have imbalances up here towards the 15,576 level, which is quite a distance though. Okay, that's about okay, not too bad. It's like 1,150 points away. We may try and target the 14,576.7 level, but I'm kind of feeling I would want to see what happens. Like for me right now, if NAS breaks out, even if it continues pushing up, I'm going to be anticipating a reversal first before we continue on a strong bullish move. So again, if I look at the weekly for me is still looking bearish. I feel like there's a bit of a supply zone here. I feel like, we may just lull a bit, because this move is quite aggressive. I'm not sure we will immediately see the continuation happening. So I'm going to begin to anticipate a down move. So for example, this is what I am seeing. We moved down and then we've pushed up. Okay, and then I just anticipate a move like this, or I just if we start breaking down, we may even just continue to break down. I'm not so sure that we are, we are towards the end of the month. March, end of the month is next week. So I'm like, I still feel that we should kind of push lower before we push up, So I will wait to see if this market opens bearish on Sunday. If not, guys, that's fine. Again, on Monday, I'll be looking at the chart, obviously, because I like to enter the market sometimes on Monday, London session. So yeah, so that's my take though. Yeah, we are, we've gotten to a supply zone and we're at an order block. I'm anticipating a rejection. We've cleared out imbalances on lower time frames. And that's why I'm just anticipating a rejection at this level to push lower, possibly target the 13,795 zone, which is about 600 pips away, points away. So that's that for NAS. And I'm assuming the indices across the board are just going to give me the same vibes. I want to look at, yeah, I mean, that's how it's looking for me. I want to see a rejection. I know we're looking very bullish, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rejection before we continue up. I just wouldn't be surprised. So US 500, let's see. Yeah, like I said, everything is looking the same. There's definitely a lot of imbalances in the downside, even on SPX. And that's why, guys, I'm anticipating price to push down before we see any rally up. Okay, so I'm bearish this week on the indices. Let's see gold. As for gold and her people, so gold literally just broke structure. So let me delete this now because it's now, we did get to our zone here, but then we broke through that. I mean, the week last week was really, really interesting. Really interesting. Okay, so we've technically taken out this zone. So I'm kind of thinking this was just like, kind of like a retracement. And I do, because we took out a significant level of structure here. So I would anticipate, I'm bullish on gold. I'm still kind of bullish on gold. We do have some imbalances. We've left downside here. We may try to reach for them, okay, at the 1868.74 level. This is a major rejection though, but I feel like we've left liquidity upside still. So even if we pull back, I just, I'm kind of bullish on gold on the weekly time frame. But let me look at the lower time frame because sometimes you could see something different. So we did retest. We are now looking, like we want to push lower. There's a bit of maybe liquidity downside. And if we do maybe break down, there's some imbalance at this zone of let me see. So we may tap this zone 1878, 1871, which is what? Which is maybe about 487 pips away. If that doesn't happen, we may just continue to see gold rise. Okay, so but I'm more bullish on gold than I am bearish. If I am bearish, it's simply a matter of just retesting some levels here around, like I said, the 1871 zone. So that's gold. Let me look at the 15 minutes, see how that's looking. So yes, we retested some zones here. Yeah, gold for me, we may reach out, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm still kind of 50-50 on this. We have some imbalance downside this way. I'll see what happens. Overall, I'm just like, maybe we're retracing, then continue to the upside. But I'm bullish on gold. Okay, guys. So I am bullish. So let me look at Euro USD. Let me go on the weekly time and I can clear the chart as well. Okay, so Euro USD retraced, broke structure here, retraced. We saw the week close with a bit of rejection, which is understandable. But I feel like we have some imbalances still upside, so I'm anticipating we will continue to push up. That's for Euro USD. Let me look at Euro CAD. I used to really like to trade Euro CAD, but yeah, things kind of changed. Now that I fell in love with NAS 100. So we see that, there's this zone here that has really held when it comes to EuroCAD for a couple of years now. And I don't know what. And so what happened here is we literally tapped into that zone. We then began to push up, but you can see that, we are still kind of looking bearish. I feel like there's also a bit of indecision in the market just by how we closed this candle. We are looking bearish because we really kind of dropped. And I feel like if we do break this level, we're definitely, we're literally 130 pips away from the 2017 low. And then we have the 2015 low. Now, I'm not necessarily, we've been bearish since last year, August, very consistently bearish. And generally, the Euro pairs have been bearish, they've been tanking, but I kind of feel like we may begin to see price begin to turn. Okay. So really, that's what I'm anticipating. I'm kind of 50-50 on EuroCAD, not giving me but there's definitely imbalances around the 1.44388 zone that may be tested before we see any continuation down. So that would be my take, that we'll probably start seeing price pushing up. Let me look at another card, CAD JPY, for example. And this is what we are seeing. So you see, with CAD JPY though, the weekly is looking very bearish, and we may just continue to. I'm trying to see what are we targeting. We are at, as in we perfectly tapped into an imbalance and we filled up that gap or the order block there. And but we are looking very bullish. We're looking very bullish. Even if there's a retracement back to the 92.985, I feel like CAD JPY is really, really looking bullish. So, but I think on market open, we may see that retracement happen first before the continuation up. Look, if we look at it from, this is 2020 March, last year, March, CAD JPY has been rising. We've seen bursts of energy to the upside, just reconfirming the bullish trend. But I feel at this point in time, because we are at a strong area of supply, I feel like we may just taper out and pull back to the, like I said, the 1.92.971 zone, 92.394 zone, which is maybe about, like I said, 100 to 200 pips away. Was it 2,000 pips away? I think this is CAD JPY, so that's, I think it's 218 pips away, or is it 200? Hold on, guys. Yeah, about 200 pips away, guys. So that's what I'm really, really. Let me look at the lower time frame, maybe for some added. Looking very bullish. Okay, closed very bullish. The 4 is what I'm beginning to see, giving me that sign of bearish, so I'll wait and see what happens. I wouldn't jump into CAD JPY immediately on market open, but I'm looking at it pulling back, like I said. So that's it. Let's go to a GBP pair. So one of the ones I really like to trade is GBP USD. And what I'm gonna do is clear the chart so that it doesn't look too messy. I go back on the weekly. So what we see with the GU, this high here, okay, no, that's the 4 hour. but we can see we took out liquidity, we took out this previous swing highs, tapped into a demand zone, rejected off of that zone, pushed up, and then we kind of failed to take out this previous high of mid-March, and we're kind of looking like we want to, begin to taper down. And I would not be surprised if that happens. Okay. But let's look at the weekly. So what we are seeing is we broke structure, we tested that zone, we kind of rejected off of that zone by the time the market was closing, and that's why you can see this weak formation here. We do have imbalances upside, and I'm still bearish, but we may see price possibly push to the 1.32770 before we drop, or we may just open bearish because there's a lot of liquidity resting, especially at the 1.28499 zone, and even lower. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at. We may retrace to, this is how many pips away. This is like quite a number. That's about 327 pips away. Okay, about 330 pips away. But like I said, we may try to clear imbalances upside before we go down, or we may just drop. So long term, I am bearish. I'm bearish, but the market may just open lower and push up, okay, targeting either the 1.32709 to the 1.3654, all the way up to the 1.34927 levels. That's GU. What else can I look at? One more pair would be, let's say, let me look at an AUD pair, AUD USD. Looking bullish on the weekly. So AUD USD retraced, pushed back to the upside. Okay. After we broke structure, so we're actually looking bullish on AUD USD. We're looking bullish on AUD USD. Even if we may even just push up a bit, take out liquidity, maybe tap some imbalances before we continue down. But I think just by virtue of the way this candlestick closed, its close was above the previous week's close. So we may be tapping into this previous high, which is about 155. Yeah, about 155 pips away. So yeah, looking bullish. So guys, I hope this has been helpful in just helping you guys prepare for the week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.